It's boozy, for sure. Like, Tip Top was one of the first to launch their canned cocktails in these mini, teeny, tiny little cute cans that you're seeing that are perfect for one serving. Today, we're gonna be focusing on the old fashioned, the Espresso Martini, the Cosmo, and the Margarita. It's time to taste. Each can in Tip Top's lineup comes with some directions. So while you can enjoy them from the can, some cocktails are better to be pouring over ice, some are best to be shaken up in a can, etc., etc. In the case of the Margarita, let's make sure we're shaking it really well in this can to get some of those ingredients more well combined, and then pour over ice. Yeah, okay, so as it sits open for a little bit, you can get some more of those agave notes on the nose. And it's so good. It tastes like a freshly made margarita. There's a ton of lime going on the palate, so it's pretty punchy in terms of acidity. There's no artificial sweeteners happening on the palate. Yeah, and you get a really, really nice tequila hit on the back palate. If you blinded me on this, I would probably think it was freshly made from a bartender. And while I chose not to have any salt or sugar on my rim here, feel free to do it if you want it. Next up, we have the Cosmopolitan, which is made with vodka, orange liqueur, a little bit of lime juice, and some cranberry juice. For this one, Tip Top recommends pouring over ice for maximum enjoyment. I'm gonna break away from tradition and pour it up. Tons of cranberry juice happening here on the nose. This is really yummy. The vodka is pretty hot here, but nothing too out of control. I think if you want to enjoy this one up the way I did, the best move would probably be to shake it slightly over ice instead of shaking it in the can like I did. I'll admit that I think I made a mistake there, but this is very enjoyable. Similarly to the Margarita, it does taste like a true made Cosmopolitan, but this is well balanced, it's sweet, it's delicious, and it tastes like a true classic. Next up, we're gonna be hitting up the Espresso Martini. This one, you do want to shake over ice. Not only is that gonna help give you a little bit of dilution, but it'll give you that really nice foamy head that you get in a true made Espresso Martini. So let's shake it up. Lots of coffee coming off on the nose here. It does have a little hint of vanilla in it as well. I wonder if that's in the form of like a vanilla simple syrup. Really, really, really lovely coffee flavor coming off of this one. That vanilla note is very subtle on the palate. It is not nearly as dominant as I feared it might be when I was smelling it. Instead, you have some really, really rich chocolatey coffee notes coming off instead. This is an Espresso Martini for the purists. Again, you see that it's the color of an Espresso Martini made with vodka, coffee liqueur, and espresso. No creaminess going on here, but it does feel weight-wise like it has some of that going on. So this, if you are a purist, this is the can for you. Let's move on to the final cocktail of the bunch, which also happens to be the booziest. This old fashioned is canned at 37% ABV. It smells a little sweet. You can definitely pick up a lot of those bourbony notes. You smell, there's some vanilla oak going on the nose. It smells well balanced, but let's see what it's like on the palate, shall we? Okay, it's boozy for sure. Like, it is very, very true to a well-made old-fashioned style. I would honestly recommend shaving off some orange and expressing it over the top. I think that would really take this to a whole nother level. And not to mention adding in that cherry, which makes for a perfect snack at the end. You get that sweetness, you get some of that barrel oak note, which is really delightful, but it is in fact missing that delightful little orange expression that I love so much. And it's missing some of that je ne sais quoi of the Luxardo cherry as well. But I do think for something that is coming in a can like this, it does a pretty damn good job of coming close. Tip Top is kind of killing it in the canned cocktail sphere. So I would highly recommend running to one of your local liquor stores and picking up a can of Tip Top for yourself.